Welcome back to the Demon Slayer Gaming channel. We're going to be continuing our Final Fantasy XIV Dungeon Guide series today, and we're going to be taking a look at the new dungeon released in patch 6.2 for Endwalker, the Fell Court of Troia. Starting off with the trash pulls in here, when you pick up the first group, the Troian sentries, these can each do circular AoEs, so you'll just want to watch out for those as you're moving along. The scavengers also have a circular AoE that they will throw out. Moving towards the second pack, the pawns have cone AoEs, so you just want to watch out for those. When you reach the second scavenger, he'll spawn sentries that will appear in the fight with him also. But you should be able to just pick all of these up and AoE them down pretty easily. Now for the first boss, you'll actually be going against a group of adds and dodging AoEs at the same time. So when you first go in, you have a group of 8 adds, you'll just want to pick up an AoE down. After this, another set of adds will spawn that you'll want to pick up, and then there will be a set of adds that are along the outside of the arena. You'll want to move to one side of them. It doesn't matter if it's left or right. After the adds launch the AoEs across the platform, then they will also become targetable and you'll have to pick those up. But you'll just pick them up and AoE them down. The next set will have another group of adds and then another group along the outside of the platform. The ones on the outside this time will have gaps in between them. There will also be 4 adds that spawn that each will throw out a circular AoE on each party member. So try to separate yourself between the gaps so that you're not overlapping the circular AoEs. Once all these are dead, then their group will spawn on the outside of the platform, leaving either a section on the left or right that will have no line AoE across it. At the same time, a bunch of adds will spawn that you'll need to just pick one and focus it down before the AoEs go off. Then you'll just pick all of them up and AoE them down again. For the final group, there will be multiple heads that will merge into a larger head in the middle, and you will just need to kill this before it finishes its cast of Endless Nightmare. While this is happening, there will be heads that will spawn and that will do circular AoEs around themselves. One of them will have 4 other heads tethered to it, that kind of like the head in the middle will expand after they reach it, causing the AoE to grow. So you'll just want to make sure that you're positioning yourself a good distance away from the ones that have tethers on them. But after this head is dead, then that will be the end of the first boss. Now the gear in here is going to be item level 595, which is a step below the augmented radiant gear, so it's a very good set to pick up if you don't have that for your other jobs. Moving towards the second group, the guard has a circular AoE that it's going to throw out. The footman also has a circular AoE that is much larger than the guards, and there will also be a cone AoE in here too. After this second group is dead, then you'll proceed to the second boss. For Beatrice, when she casts Eye of Troia, this is going to do a bit of party-wide damage and summon a circular AoE that will begin to proceed towards the boss, that once it reaches her will do a doom effect if you are looking at the boss. So you'll want to turn your camera away right as the circular reaches her. She'll then carve a pattern into the ground with an eye beam. This will cause explosions in the order that it was carved. So you'll just want to stand on top of the fourth pattern that was carved, and then once the first one explodes, move towards it to avoid all four of them. Hush is going to be a tank buster that can easily be mitigated. And then Void Shaker is a large cone AoE that you'll just want to move out of. She follows this up with a circular AoE on all party members, so you'll want to spread out afterwards. The next time Beatrice casts Eye of Troia, this is going to do two separate sets of circular AoEs that will cause the doom effect. They will go towards the outside of the platform, and then while this is happening, she'll also cast Toric Void, which is going to do a circular AoE along the outside. After this, she'll do a group up mechanic that you'll want to group to split the damage for. If any of your party members are affected by the doom from the eye mechanic, you can Esuna this off as the healer. After this, she'll proceed behind the throne and up to the final area. The Troian trappers will have circular AoEs that they will throw out. When you pick up the Troian butlers, there will also be circular AoEs that will appear on the stairs that you just ran up. Each of these will spawn a Troian equerry, so make sure that you're picking these up after they drop onto the platform. The butlers have a cone AoE that you'll just want to move out of. The next set, once you reach the stewards at the very end of the path, there will be 4 more equerries that will come onto the platform. So as they drop onto the platform, you'll just want to pick those up. These stewards have a large circular AoE, so you'll just want to move out of those. And this will bring you to the final boss.
So the gate did open again and delivered the most mouth-watering morsels. I am Scarmelion, Archfiend of Earth and first of Golbez's Circle of Four. Such pleasure I will take in delivering you unto your grave. Your ether is mine!
Now when you first start the fight, you will cast Cursed Echo. This is going to do party-wide damage along with applying a bleeding effect on the entire party. So you'll need sustained healing after this. Rotten Rampage is going to do multiple circular AoEs on the platform, along with doing a circular AoE on every party member. You can move in between the AoEs as they go off. Blighted Bedevilment is going to do a circular AoE around the boss that if you are in the purple when it goes off will instantly kill you. This will also push you back from him, so you'll want to try and make sure that there is a wall behind you to avoid being pushed into the purple, which will apply a poison effect. Blighted Blade Work is going to cause the boss to jump up into the air and then do a large circular AoE on the location that he is targeting. You need to actually move out of range to physically attack him to be out of this AoE, so put yourself at a good distance away. He'll then do a AoE from the location that he just slammed onto the platform, so you'll want to get behind the boss to avoid this. He'll follow this up with Fire Damp, which is going to be a tank buster with a small AoE around it, so make sure that you're moving away from the rest of the group and mitigating accordingly. Before going to the front of the room and begin casting Creeping Decay, which will spawn multiple adds and begin kind of his ultimate phase where you'll need to kill the adds before his power reaches 100%. During this phase, there will be one of two different sets of AoEs. You'll either have all the AoEs in the middle and you'll need to spread out along the outside, or they will be all on the outside and you'll need to group up in the middle. If you get the AoEs in the middle of the platform, he'll follow it up with a group up mechanic AoE, so you'll need to group immediately after moving out. If you get the AoEs on the outside, causing everyone to move in, then everyone will receive a donut AoE that you'll need to spread after the outside AoEs go off. He'll follow this up with his ultimate AoE that does a very large amount of damage, and even at 49% power there, you saw that our healer almost died. So healers, make sure that you're doing healing while the effect is happening. He'll then do another Rotten Rampage, so make sure you're spreading out. If you are hit by multiple of these AoEs during Rotting Rampage, you will receive multiple stacks of Brain Rot, which if you receive 3 stacks will cause zombification, so you'll just want to watch out for that. He'll follow up with another Blighted Bedevilment, so make sure that you're near one of the walls so that you can get pushed into it. And then a group up mechanic right afterwards. He'll then do another Blighted Blade Work, so make sure you're getting a good amount of distance between you and the target location he has selected. And then you'll want to rush him and get behind him again to avoid the Blighted Sweep. And this should be it for the final court of Troia. I hope this helped everyone out. If it did, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. and I will catch you on the next one.